Hi everybody, welcome to TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my Friday show, The Outlook on Emotional Exchanges. So it's not purely a show about romance or sexuality or that physical love. It could transcend to other kinds of emotional bonding or contentment with people. But it is a simple reading for each sign of the zodiac, 2 cards. The top card is that emotional vibration that's around you now. So, in other words, the kind of emotional content or situations you may experience. The bottom card represents the idea of whether or not you might possibly get lucky in love, romance, physical love, emotional bonding, romance, whatever you want to call it. It's all good. This week, I'm not going to do a meditation or affirmation for the collective. So I'm just going to go right ahead with the reading. And we start with Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I have pre-shuffled the cards, so I'm just going to give them a little toss here. See what we get. Now, that first card is pulled from the top of the deck, and then the latter card that I mentioned is from the bottom of the deck. All right, top card. What is the emotional vibe or energy coming to Aries? That's the Four of Pentacles upright. So the emotional vibe coming to Aries suggests we're sort of going to chill on Netflix kind of week ahead. We may be feeling like we want to play things close to the vest. We're not necessarily interested in other people's feelings or emotions. We're more about our own contentedness this week. From the bottom of the deck, will you be lucky? It's Pentacles, so it will come with a price, and it is in fact the reverse Two of Pentacles, suggesting, I think, that you will be lucky if you are able to put aside some of the balance situations or to rectify the balance, because the first card sort of sounds imbalanced. The second card could be taken that way, but in this context, I'm going to say this is saying the price is you'll have to be a little less selfish or thinking more about other people to get lucky. On the other hand, maybe it could be saying continue to not think about other people and just go for what you want. I don't know if that's what I want to say. All right, so now we will move on to Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And once again, what is the vibration around you? Nine of Cups, upright. So it's a good vibration around you. You're sort of feeling like really everything is coming your way, Taurus. You're very contented. This sounds so Taurian, if I had to be honest about it. You just feel like you are loaded with comfort, or that's what's around you right now. But from the bottom of the deck, will you be lucky? And of course, this is on your own terms. Some of us may not want to be physically lucky. They just want to have luck in an emotional resonance kind of way. But here we go. It is the Eight of Wands. And wands means you'll have to work at it. So no matter what kind of luck you're looking at, you have to keep on the target. You have to keep moving directly towards what you want. And it's good to possibly include others, bring them with you. All right, so we'll move on to Gemini now. Sun, Moon, or Rising. And Gemini, air sign, we want to know what is the vibe or energy around you at this point for this coming week. What kind of emotions are coming to you? And it's good. It's the Seven of Cups. And this could be saying, really, you're like in dream wish mode here. Gemini, you're really looking at a lot of possibilities. And maybe the vibe for you right now is you just sort of feel you are really in the midst of opportunity. And so it's just a matter of you to relax and decide what is best for you. Now, from the bottom of the deck, will you be lucky? And it's reverse swords, and swords always means no. It's just a no in terms of that. So the question is answered no, but the Six of Swords reverse provides the context that maybe, although we are looking about, seeing what's about us, we may still have to be happy with our own situations at home or try to understand them. We can't get away from them. There may be something here that you're trying to escape, but it's not really the right time for you to be doing that. Well, it's just not going to work out. All right, so we will now move on to Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Cancer, what is the vibe coming to you? What is the vibe around you, the energy of emotion? And oh, it's the Three of Swords. Dun, dun, dun. So, gee, I don't know, Cancer. It feels like maybe there's some real big emotional problems right now. You may feel really separated from somebody you love. Maybe there's been a breakup or there's been a bad argument of some sort. In general, this could maybe mean that you just have alienated affections at this time. Maybe everything feels crucial and heartbreaking for some reason. And hey, look at the world around you. It's enough to make anyone cry, really. Will you be lucky? And it's a major arcana. It's the High Priestess. So that means good luck. It's a maybe. But the High Priestess says maybe if you're able to really understand intuitively what's going on around you, maybe that right person can be reached out to or will reach out to you as they sense a sympathical kind of soul. Or maybe it's just, your own present partner realizing, or that you realizing intuitively, your connection heals you. So let's move on to Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Leo. A lot of times you're just awesomely lucky in love without anyone having to read the cards. But let's see what it takes for you this time, Leo. So first of all, from the top of the deck, what is that emotional, vibrant energy around you? And it's the Nine of Swords reversed, which is pretty cool in a way, because the Nine of Swords reversed is basically saying things that were bothering you, keeping you awake, giving you super stress or anxiety, you may realize, and this is about your emotions, does somebody love you or not? You may realize you were putting more of yourself and your own apprehensions into it, and now may come a time of resolution or some sense of healing that anxiety that you're feeling. From the bottom of the deck, will you be lucky? It's a major arcana, the Devil reverse. Major arcana means good luck, so that's maybe. But it's interesting because the Devil reversed talks about those of us who are able to pull out of bad relationships, codependent relationships, oppressive, victimizing relationships. So if maybe defeating anxiety or worry was connected to the idea of problems, codependencies in a relationship, by seeing beyond them, you may find a way to be lucky. And that's not necessarily just running out with another person, but maybe coming to terms and understanding how each of you, or however many of you, can figure out how to relate to each other without the codependency. All right, Leo, we're going to move on to Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So, Virgo, what is the energy surrounding you? What kind of vibe is around you or coming towards you? Bam, it's the Seven of Pentacles, and it's upright. And I think this is that moment this week where you realize what you really have, but also that you need to work on it more. That any relationship or any love needs to grow like a living thing. And so a big part of it is really what you're going to put into it, what you're going to show to honor that love you have. From the bottom of the deck, will you be lucky? And it's Wands. So it means, yes, it will come at a price, but you will be victorious. Although you may have challenges of your own, although you may have situations that provide you with certain limitations, you have the will to break on through. And so you will, and you will be lucky in love. All right, Virgo, we're moving on to Libra then. Sun, Moon, or Rising. Top of the deck, Libra. What's coming towards you? What vibe or energy? And wow, you have the same luck. You have the same situation around you right now, Libra. Did I say Libra? Yeah, it's Libra. The situation may be that you just need to focus on what you have and how it can grow more. Your love, your relationships, your world. Will you be lucky? It's cups. It will come naturally. It's the reversed 5 of cups. No, I'm sorry, that's the 6 of cups. So the reverse 6 of cups, I think, will say, yes, it will come to you naturally, and maybe it will come to you surprisingly from an area that you are familiar with, but maybe had sort of lost sight of in a way. You know, a person or a situation that you weren't thinking was current actually is. Somebody loves you after all. So move on to Scorpio now. Sun, Moon, or Rising. Scorpio, that's moi, can be possibly one of the most emotionally intense signs for a number of reasons in their chart. But let's find out if Scorpios, Sun, Moon, or Rising will have an interesting or good vibe for the week. It's justice reversed. Scorpios, you may be feeling that in terms of your emotionality, life isn't very fair all the time for you, and that sometimes you have to do things in a different way in order to have what other people seem to have in their own way. That you always feel, maybe in a little way, Scorpio, like justice eludes you in some way, and that, you know, the things you make are your own luck or justice. From the bottom of the deck, will you be lucky? And you'll have to work at it, but it's the 4 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands is upright. So it's promising really that if you look at the bigger picture, if you realize that there's a lot of people who are connected to you, and that maybe, you know, the person who is the possible object of lucky intentions is connected to you, if you're able to celebrate them or life in general as family and joyous, you could be lucky. Scorpio, try to join the rest of the human race for a change, eh? All right, we will now move on to Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, or Rising. Sagittarius, what vibe or energy or possible situation, feel is around you in this week ahead? And it's Lovers. So you may feel like really you have the opportunity to choose freely what it is you want. You may feel like life has a number of choices for you, and that everything is more or less equivalent in its own terms, and that maybe certain situations or relationships offer some things and others offer other things, but you feel the beauty of it all is being able to choose. Will you be lucky? And it's another major arcana, the Hierophant, suggesting, of course, good luck, maybe. But the Hierophant also promises the idea that if we honor tradition, if we honor conventionality, if we work through process in orderly ways, maybe you can be lucky. I know it sort of sounds like I'm telling you how to behave, but I don't know. There's other ways to interpret it. You're welcome to think of these cards in your own terms, everyone. We're moving on to Capricorn now, and Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What kind of vibe is around you for the week? What is the emotional energy or possible highlights or situations this week? Oh dear, it's death reversed. Your emotional life is really stagnant right now. It just sort of seems like for this week, you're not motivated to do anything. And a large part of it could just be feeling like, everything is moving clumsily and in powerful ways that don't make sense to you or that are, disruptive to other things in your life. And it just doesn't feel like emotionality is a big connection right now, that there's just sort of bad air around there. But would you be lucky regardless? And it's cups. So it means it will come naturally. It's the Four of Cups. And so the idea there that it might come naturally means really you have to look for the right choice, that you're not going to necessarily pick the choice that everyone else has, that something different is calling to you. We'll now move on to Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What is the emotional vibe around you? What kind of situations may be percolating around you, or what will you feel about these things? It's the reversed Page of Wands, indicating to me that you sort of feel like you're aloof a little bit this time, and maybe you're feeling like it's on other people to connect with you in a way, or that you're feeling like, nobody is in fact wanting to connect with you. And so you're a little bit put off there. I don't think you're angry. I don't think you're emotionally devastated, but maybe you're wondering why nobody seems to be interested in you. And maybe, of course, it's just a way of saying to you that you need to be a little bit more assertive in your emotional life, perhaps. Will you be lucky? Well, it's cups, so that means it will come to you naturally, but it is the Ace of Cups. And so the beginning of anything new or something rather new may have some delays or challenges, that maybe not everything is totally in sync between you and a possible partner. And so don't be surprised if it will come to you naturally. It just may not come exactly when or how you would like. Ain't that love? All right, and then finally we are on Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Pisces, what is the vibrant energy that is around you or that is coming to you in this week ahead? And it's the Queen of Wands. Pisces, you're feeling really, really, really courageous and charismatic. You're feeling like you really sort of have something to prove, or you're trying to be vivacious. You're trying to be sexy. You are trying to be sexy, Pisces. You are trying to project your sexual, emotional energies out there to inform your presence, your personality. Will it work? Will you get lucky? And it's one, so you'll have to work at it. But be prepared to maybe feel like, someone's going to challenge you about this persona if they don't feel it really matches you. And so you may have to quibble with them over whether or not you really are, kind of that assertive, in the way that a Queen of Wands kind of female energy might be. And of course, it could be a male energy too for Queen of Wands. All right, then. So I'm going to sign off then. I'm just going to remind you briefly, there is no happy hour tomorrow. Banshee and I are off to an engagement, high school reunion. So we'll be back next time with Emotional Exchanges, but don't forget to watch us on Sunday, our regular live stream from 2 to 4 p.m. And also earlier Sunday at 10 a.m. is Banshee's Material Matters, We'll see you in the chat room there because it is live in the chat room. And it's like this show kind of, it's for each sign of the zodiac and it tells you what's going on from that more economic or material matter point of your life. So check that out and we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.